I'm Bob Benson. I'm the guy that developed this kit for you. Well, this should be the same as the motor you pulled out of that Willys. This one happens to be out of a 51 Kaiser. It's the same motor. The Continental made it for, I don't know how many years, but a fairly popular motor. Just to start with, when you pull the bell housing off of this thing, I want you to make sure that your wire wheel or some kind of cleaning on the back of this thing, make sure it's free of rust, no dirt, no burrs, nothing to make the plate not ride flat on it. Here's the bell housing that came off of it. It should be the same as the bell housing you took off of yours. And the reason I'm showing that to you is a little different than some motors in that there's no dowel pin sticking out the back of this block. What they did is they made custom ground shoulder bolts. And you're going to have to reuse the ones you've taken out of the Willys. I don't have any way of making, that's a pretty precise, nice bolt, hardened bolt. They go through these two locations, and that aligns that perfectly to that engine, just as if it was a couple of dowel pins sticking out. It's a machine fit, perfect fit. So what I did is I designed my adapter to use those bolts. Don't throw them away. I am sending a couple of lock washers. I'm going to use those. Don't just pay particular attention to the block. We also want to make sure you pay real good attention to cleaning this, deburring the crankshaft. Because if you look at your flywheel, they actually use the outside surface of this crankshaft to center this. There's no inner centering like the newer engines use. It's all on the outside. So my crank adapter is exactly the same way. It's a machine fit. You can see the inset there. About 1.5 thou clearance. So it will be kind of a snug fit. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Once that's all done, it's cleaned, it's ready to go back on. This is the plate. And it's going to attach to the block with 4 bolts. You got 2 flathead socket cap screws. They're going to be in the top 2 locations, and of course the 2 ground dowels are going to be in the bottom 2 locations. You're going to start all 4 before you tighten any of them. When you do tighten them, we're going to tighten the dowel pin bolts first. That's what this thing locates on. Like I said, we're tightening the lower ones first. Got some clearance ground inset on these. Make sure it clears everything. That's all it is on the plate itself. That's really all it takes to get that on. Don't use a hammer on it. If it doesn't go on, find out why. Clean the burrs off, the dirt, whatever it takes. Don't beat it up with a hammer. If you have to tap it on, you use like a rubber hammer or something. Don't beat it up with a steel hammer. Now, we're using this outside surface to locate our flywheel, which is basically a stock Chevrolet 153 tooth flywheel that they used for years and years and years. We've got the holes elongated, but if you ever need a flywheel, you don't have to go calling me or chasing one. You can just buy it at a local parts store. So we're using the stock studs on the crankshaft. And I'm sending these nuts along with it. all there is to that. There was another hole right at this location behind the flywheel. I should have showed you. It's just a clearance hole for oil galley plug. No big deal. The hole that's at this location, so you can get the bolts through from the front, work through the front on the torque converter bolts on the center one. It's a bolt and a nut arrangement, so you should be able to get the nut behind, or the nut and the wrench on this side of it, and use a air tool on this side if you choose. Next thing is going to be the starter. They're going to attach with these two hex head bolts from the front. It's in the stock location. Well, now comes the starter. That is also a fairly off-the-shelf item. It's the Hitachi Mini High Torque that they use in all the GMs, Summit, Jigs, PAW, your local speed shop. Everybody sells them. They come with this aluminum block on the back to bolt to small block Chevys. We just take them off and we machine the block right into the adapter. Pretty simple deal. Find my bolts. That's pretty well prepared. Well, anyway, I swear there's 2 bolts in the kit that you'll be getting. I don't know where mine are, but that's how it goes on, right like that. I'll turn this for you so you can see that on there. Bolts. So there you have it. And every part that I'm putting on this motor is the parts that you're actually getting. So you know that they fit. Trial fitted your actual parts. The next thing I'll be showing you is the adapter that goes in the back of the 350 turbo that I'm sending you. That's going to be able to bolt that 350 right up to your existing Dana 18 transfer case. You will have to take the gear off of your T90 3-speed transmission and bolt it onto the back of this new output shaft. Pretty simple deal, all just a bolt on. There is a mount that goes with the transfer case adapter, and it bolts on. Let me get this up close to the camera. The mount is going to end up bolting on upside down. I wrote a little up on it. As you might figure, that bolts up into the adapter that's bolted onto the 350. So the mount is actually going upside down to where you would normally see it on a transmission. All right, there's your 350 turbo with the new transfer case mount on it. Here's the mount I was showing you earlier. That is going to bolt on just like that. Hope you can see that. Gear bolts on here, that's why I called and got a spline count. Bolts for this are included in the kit. This 350 turbo has extra clutches in both forward, low reverse, and direct clutch packs. It has a 700R4 low roller clutch, which is taller than the stock 350, one more load capacity. Good quality torque converter, mild shift kit. Pretty well built transmission, should last you for the rest of your life. It's coming with dipstick tube, detent cable, adjustable modulator. Guess I don't know what else to say except for I'm going to switch back over to the motor for a minute. Well, that's the problem. It's back on the motor. What I was going to say was, I just want you guys to make sure that when you put this stuff on, make sure that you put all the bolts in a sequence on first. Don't just put one of the plate bolts in and tighten it up and get the other ones in. Start all 4, tighten the bottom 2. When you put these on, put all 6 of them on, then crisscross tighten. It's just common sense stuff. You know, nice, clean, quality installation. I actually had fun developing this one. It went pretty good. Let me know what you think. Give me a call. Appreciate the business.